Good evening and welcome to When Sistas Meet. You can catch us live here on Facebook every other Tuesday at 7:30 p.m. We are sponsored by Lipstick Entertainment, also Jim's Boutique by Lipstick Entertainment, and Legacy Collection, natural beauty products and makeup. I'm your girl, the Diva.
I'm Miss Layla.
And I'm Tam. And today we're going to be talking about learning to balance as a woman. So many things: career, education, relationships, faith, family, parenting, friendship, and hobbies. That's a lot. We're gonna talk about this balance, girls. We got it?
Yeah,
okay,
got it.
let's go.
All right. Let's see what we have in here. And we are also on New Beat Radio, just so you know, every Thursday and Saturday at 10 a.m. So make sure you say hi to Steve and all the guys over there at New Beat Radio for us, okay? All right. Does a woman have to be single to have balance?
I'm gonna say absolutely not. I'm single now, so I got some good balance. But even when I was married and had 2 children, it was a little bit harder. But you have to work harder at it. But I wouldn't say you have to be single to have balance.
I agree with that. I just find it that you kind of find your own balance even as a single woman, you know, by yourself. So you kind of establish that anyway. So it's just more so of, you know, what you find in it, how you dwell in it, and, you know, what you get out of it.
I would definitely say that, you know, I've been on both sides of the coin. So it takes adjustment. It takes compromise. It takes understanding. It takes you not forgetting about yourself and self-care. As women, especially as women of color, we have the tendency to just put everybody first, you know, especially if we have children at home.
Even not children, parents.
Exactly, parents.
Loved ones.
Exactly.
You know, hobbies, things like that.
You know, but I love the old saying, if you're not right, nothing else in your life will be right.
Right.
You know?
Absolutely.
So definitely.
Just so you know, we pull topics out of our handy dandy jar here. So if you have some things you'd like for us to discuss here on When Sistas Meet, make sure you put a comment in.
Give us
We'd love to hear from you.
give us a topic. We'll go with it.
So one of the ways that we definitely think that you can find balance as a woman is to find your village. What does that mean to you ladies?
Ooh. I would say my village would be my support circle. Just more so of individuals that know me, and knows my ins and outs. Kind of like knows how structured I'm built, and knows what makes me upset, what triggers me, those kind of things. It's always good to know that about someone, just because you can be there to help balance them out when they may not be able to balance themselves out.
Very good point. Very good point.
Yeah, and I always love that expression that your vibe determines your tribe.
Oh,
So if
yeah.
you have a good vibe about you, you're going to draw some awesome people towards you.
Yes.
So as far as what that means to me is if you know, keeping yourself together, you're going to draw a good crowd around you that's going to be supportive of whatever you're going through.
I love that, but I will also say that good vibes draws are cray-crays too.
They do.
Yes. Got the light. So
Yeah.
to the light. And they just,
Still about
I don't
that
know.
balance.
You know, that's it. So I would say definitely, you know, in finding my tribe, I'm in personal life a very private person. I really am. I love actually though entertaining people and having people be able to come around me and be relaxed. So I would say that, you know, I have a tribe, my sisters. You know, I do have a tribe, but I'm still also very selective. My tribe has definitely changed over the years.
Yes.
You know, as you know, we grow older, we definitely will kind of tolerate different things or not tolerate different things, and you know, they're what we call energy vampires.
Yes.
You know, that
Definitely
can
energy.
oh my god. For the radio, I was doing hand signs. Yes, I was.
Yes.
All right, let's go to our next question. Can a woman have it all? Truly, can we have it all? Can we balance it?
I say yes. Listen, it's all about planning. It's about getting out there and just doing it. I would say I'm a person who is very guilty of not going for it at times. But then there's other times where I'm just like jumping off the ledge and knowing that I'm going to land in the right place.
Okay.
So, again, it's finding that balance. So,
So
You
go
can have it
face
all.
first.
I say,
Do it.
plan
Okay.
it. Do it.
Okay.
Set your goals and crush them.
Yes, just what I was getting ready to say. Definitely, I feel like as long as you're goal minded, I believe, and it doesn't have to be like any major goals. It's just more measurable goals, and as long as you have a plan, I believe you can go as far as you want. I mean, I just feel like you keep yourself confident, you're inspired, you dwell on those things that you want to happen. And manifest them. They will happen.
Yes.
I think back to the movie Girls Trip.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure my sister girls know the scene I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But when we were when they were in the movie, and one of them actually happened to be a public speaker, a coach, or an influencer, and how she was talking about how she was able to have it all. She had a successful husband. There was my air quotes for the radio. She had a successful husband, a successful career, making 6, 7, 8 figures. But she was truly unhappy in some points of her life. So I think it's really important to be, for one, truthful with yourself on what your balance is. What will really make you think or feel or have it all. So, all right. Well, that was the first part of our segment. So we say thank you. We also want to give a shout out to our super producer, Miss Moa. We're missing you, hon.
Yes, we will.
Let's go ahead and get into our hot topics with Tam.
All right. So today's hot topics with Tam. We want to make sure that everybody knows, as a reminder, that this May was Mental Health Awareness Month. We did talk about it on our last show as well, but it's just something that's so important and near and dear to many of us. So just let's not forget those who may be going through things, or if you're struggling with something yourself, let's break the stigma that it's not okay to talk about it, and that go get help if you need it. Also, this is Memorial Day weekend. Yes. So for those of us that work like Monday through Friday, we are so excited about having that third day off. Indy 500 is this weekend if it's something that you're into. So that will be on Sunday. In the sports world, I know we've been talking about the finals, but it's kind of what the topic is right now for sports. So tonight would be the game with the Warriors and the Mavericks. It's looking to be a sweep because the Warriors are up 3-0 at this time. I'm going for them too. And then in the East, it's kind of a different situation because they are tied with Boston and Miami at 2-2. So tomorrow night they will face off for Game 5, so we can see which direction that will go. Now, this isn't actually a super new topic, but it is hot for those of us. We on this cast, we love the movie The Best Man.
Yes.
So it had, like, years ago, the original movie came out, and then The Best Man Holiday, which we all love as well. Well, now they are in the process of recording the Best Man, the final chapters. So this is going to be a limited series on Peacock, which I'm utterly excited about. It is due to be released in the holiday season or the early part of next year. So let's look out for that. Rihanna had her baby.
Yes.
So she did have a baby boy. Right now, unless it's come out within this last couple hours and I haven't been online to see it, the name is being kept under wraps, which and everybody's business what you want to name your baby. You might be coming up with it, whatever. But her and the father, A$AP Rocky, are reportedly happy parents and doing well. Now, one thing that is of concern to a lot of people, whether, not necessarily us here on the cast, but a lot of people that we may know in the world, there's a baby formula shortage. Now, that is definitely a hot topic because it's something that I've never heard of in the past. Have you guys never been out there? No. So it was due to a recall that happened like several months ago. It's just kind of escalated. Now, Indianapolis, I'm not sure how we was chosen for that, but Indianapolis just had 35 tons of baby formula delivered. Now it's an issue and a matter of really national security because this formula came in on a military aircraft. Like, this is how serious that this is. So they're figuring it out now how to distribute it, but we know that that's a very important matter because these children are our future for sure, so we want to get them fed and get this taken care of. But that is my hot topics with Tam.
Well, thank you, Miss Tam, for keeping us informed. As always, we love it. All right, let's get back into some more topics. Why don't we?
Still talking about this balance.
Yes. How do you balance friendship, like girls' nights, with other responsibilities, such as a household or a significant other or children at home? How do you balance that?
I definitely can say having a schedule You always want to be able to prioritize that time. I know, especially with my girls, like when we have gatherings like once or twice a month, I find that it's phenomenal for you to have, and it's just kind of like a self-release for yourself, you know, be able to let your hair down, vent, so you can be new and improved for your significant other, for your children, for those other things that you have going on, because we all just need our space. And I just find that if you have that space, you're refreshed, renewed, and ready to be able to take on anything else.
Yeah, and I agree that it's planning is definitely important. So like when my kids were little, I knew that there's priorities, like they had sports and they had different types of classes and things like that they were in. I wanted to make sure that I was available for those things, so it was a balance. I was married at the time, so I had to figure out what my significant other needed and things like that. So I worked, and there was times during when they were little that I worked full time. Sometimes I was a stay-at-home mom. So everything was about that balance, and yeah, you can do it. It just takes some planning, a little coordination.
You know, okay, so I'll come from the other side of things. I do. You know, so being in a relationship or having a significant other, I do say that I don't have girls' night as often. But I try to do more when I'm in a relationship or have a significant others. I try to actually do more things during the day. That still gives me a balance. You know?
That is balance.
So that way I still get to hang out with my sister girls and I still get to be with my significant other. But planning is essential. I think planning is great.
Definitely is.
You know, especially like if you're doing like a trip. You know, one of my oldest and dearest sister friends is getting married this coming weekend. So you know, the last couple weekends we have been doing stuff for her, including we went to Chicago last weekend and did some of her bachelorette party there, and it was just wonderful. But again, that took planning. You know, and shout out to all my girlfriends that helped plan and put that together. Yes.
Okay.
We did that, you know, and then, you know, even we have talked about taking a girls trip. So I think that, you know, no matter what our situation, again, with that balance, we have to balance our work schedules because, you know, I think the majority of us that even talked about going do have a 9-to-5 job during the week, and as well as other businesses and again, family life. You know, maybe even fur babies. So, planning is essential. All right.
Most definitely.
All right.
If you leaving somebody out, they gonna remember that. Like the kids would always remember, even when they're adults. Like, I was so happy you were at the game. If you didn't balance that out and you weren't there, they gonna remember that too. So,
Okay, but let's talk about this because you know before I go to the next one. So, let's talk about planning stuff with people that always back out.
Listen, there's styles,
You know, and I'm like, hey, the balancing act over here to make sure that I can be there for the event, but you're going to back out the last minute. And just, you know, that's one of the things that kind of grinds my gears. I'm just saying.
Yeah, and we all know that it's emergencies that come up, but some people do flake.
Exactly.
There's flakes out there too. So yeah, we got
stop flaking up so I can plan around that.
Exactly. Yeah. You know, so I think I got in the habit of, because, and I'm not saying all my sister girls do that, but you know, I think I got in the habit of just making sure that I went through the plan anyway. Because I'm like, I'm not going to stop.
Right.
I have planned. Because, you know. So just a little tidbit. Okay.
Yeah.
For the time, or how do you find time for your friends? That's kind of like what we were just talking about. So we'll go to the next one.
Okay.
Kind of same thing. Okay.
Yeah.
See,
pulling them out. We never know exactly what we're all putting in. So,
you know?
Great minds
think alike. Okay. So in balancing, do you believe that it's essential to pray and meditate?
I do, because a lot of the plans that I make, like I want to just make sure I'm on the right accord with things.
Yeah.
Sometimes you get an answer, it may not even be immediate or whatever, but I think it's important. It's great to have spontaneity too, but there's nothing wrong with praying and meditating over what may happen.
Yeah, I agree. I just definitely find that praying just kind of like it's your insurance, just to, you know, give you that preparedness for anything. It's just a matter of how you want things to flow. The right things will come amongst you at the right time.
I think praying and meditating definitely centers me. And I think without prayer, my balance would definitely be off.
Definitely.
You know, so I think that's a definite great balancing tool, you know, for those of you who do not believe in praying. Do something that you believe in. Just take a few moments, if it's reading a book in the morning, if it's watching a certain program in the morning, if it's sitting in total silence,
Right.
if it's taking an extra long shower, whatever helps you find your balance, make sure you do that. It does make for a more productive day. It makes for an easier day as far as your flow.
Yes.
You know, maybe more capable of handling anything that may come your way. Just saying. So make sure you find that balance.
And even if you are flawed, it'll kind of rebalance you for you to work out those things.
Yes.
So kind of, you know, mature yourself for the next go round.
There you go.
So yeah.
There you go. Now, while I'm looking at the next one, what about balancing as far as if you have a disagreement with your significant other? How do we balance that?
I think it's more being able to compromise, really to look at it as compromising. Just because we may not agree, I'm sure, you know, sisters may not all agree either.
Right.
So I just think it's just more finding that balance where you can kind of compromise, you may not have to agree with that person, but see their perspective on things and kind of see, you know, look at their input just from a different perspective so you understand, like, oh, okay, I see where you're coming from, or I see why your mindset is that way. Granted, I may not want to understand it, but it's good to have that, you know, opportunity that there is, you know, different outlooks out there.
Yeah, and I love the expression of sometimes you just have to agree to disagree, because some people are just never going to take responsibility for what their part is in it. And that's coming with planning. I'm just saying, so if the shoe fits, I'm just saying.
Mouthful right there.
Yeah.
You know, again, in talking about balance and with a significant other, I think there definitely has to be a balance. Both of you have to have the mindset that you're never going to be 100% right or 100% wrong.
Exactly.
You
Exactly.
know? And willing to talk it out. Communication and comprehension are key. So.
Let's all take responsibility on what we did. See that? Yeah, on radio, we balancing the hands. Balancing,
There you go, radio. Yes, Nubi.
Yes.
Come on. All right. Well, let's go ahead and get into our healthy moments with Miss Layla.
Yes. Hello, ladies and gents. I find it that, you know, summer is approaching. Well, it's here, rather, and we have those sunny days. So definitely consider vitamin D. For you non-herbal lovers, the sun, I mean, you definitely want to be able to soak it up. It's natural. It's that absorbance that'll get you together. And then for those ones like me, I like the idea of intaking milk. I actually, you know, pretty much drink almond milk, but that has a lot of different nourishing vitamins in there too. But just so you're mindful that vitamin D is definitely strengthens your immune system. It might prevent even certain types of cancers and illnesses. You just may never know. It boosts your mood. I didn't even know sometimes even at night that if I drink a glass of milk, it'll kind of balance me to be able to sleep better.
Oh, wow.
Yes, it can aid in weight loss. Typically, even in weight loss drinks like smoothies and things like that, you can use milk as a supplement rather than some want to use water. That's a good source of vitamin D to use. It can lower risk of arthritis, and then it lowers the risk of type 2 diabetes. Also, it can help lower your blood pressure. So if you're the ones that's kind of struggling, just kind of find that balance to be able to intake a little bit of glass of milk and be able to find yourself kind of easing yourself at night and waking up the next day, checking your sugar, and you'll be right on point. I know that because I witnessed that. And then it also reduces the risk of heart disease. So just those tidbits of things, definitely the intake of vitamin D will go a long way. So make sure you take your vitamin D, guys.
Okay. And then for those of us that live here in Indy, like, we don't see the sun every single day, and we don't need it. I mean, we need that vitamin D. So, like, for me, mine stays low. So I have a certain unit that I have to take every day. Every time I go to the doctor, they're like, okay, we're raising your vitamin D. I've been on a prescription regimen for this and everything. And it does help. So, unfortunately, I have to actually take supplements daily in addition to, you know, the things that you said. So
I think a lot of people of color here in Indiana are vitamin D deficient.
Yes.
Because of kind of what Tam was saying, and it can be regional. You know, if you don't live in a culture or in an area where you get sunshine every day or a lot of days out of the year, then you can very much be vitamin D deficient. So thank you, Miss Layla, for our healthy moments.
Just remember that it does a body good.
Yes, come on, vitamin D. So, you know, we definitely thank you again for keeping us in the know. So let's see what we have here.
Right.
Is it possible for a mother to go back to school full time and balance her life?
So it's definitely possible. I'm going to say that I failed at this. I hate to say that, but I decided when my children were little to go back to school. They were in elementary school at the time. So I took a semester off, but now they're 25 and 22. So I didn't complete, but it is possible. And shouts out to all you mothers out there that have been able to do it. It is possible to balance and do that.
I believe it is. I'm not a mom, but I definitely have sisters and friends that are moms, and I have witnessed them to be able to, have that balance, to be able to find time to study, do homework, be a mom, be attentive to the children, and things like that. So, I mean, I know it can be done.
Definitely.
Awesome. I actually did it.
Yay! Shouts out. I knew somebody.
But I'm ever so grateful for my family and friends being around to help with my children.
Yes.
Because some of the time that I was in college, they were still in high school themselves or in grade school. And there were times when, I felt guilty because I'm like, oh my God, I'm missing this and I'm missing this. And then there were other times when, I just had to have an honest conversation with myself and with my children and say, you know what, this is going to help us in the future. It's not that I don't want to be there. Just know that I'm going to have representation there. But I've got to be at school myself. And I think I try to find ways to make it fun for my kids. So like when they were doing their homework and I was doing my homework, it's like, let's do homework together, that kind of thing. So I think there is definitely a way to balance it. It's a matter of, again, planning.
Yeah, and like you said, I always love affirmations to help me get through. So one of mine is short-term sacrifices for long-term rewards. So you did it. You rocked that out. And, sometimes you got to miss a couple things, but it's a long-term reward.
Blessing for sure. I'll tell you. I'm still in debt for it, though. I'm just saying. Sally may get off my back.
Right, you know what I'm saying?
All right. I think we have time for one more.
All right, let's go.
And the sticky comes apart.
Okay.
Now, are you aware in balancing that you have resources? How do you use those resources?
So what resources or do you think that we could be referring to as far as keeping balance? You mean just like people helping, or?
It could be people helping, I think.
Yeah.
It could be people maybe sponsoring you in certain things. It could be it could be a number of different things. We'll say it could be like your job's EAP program.
Okay, yeah.
It could be your church. It could be a number of different
I definitely feel that my church and my supervisor at work are an inspiration of keeping myself balanced. One, as far as for work, I'm always reminded of my success, of what things I'm doing well in, what things I could be doing better in. It's just always good to kind of, have my temperature checked. Just because, sometimes I may not be aware of, what I'm imbalanced in. So kind of bringing me back on a weekly basis is always mindful for me to do a better job the next week. And then also when I'm at church, it's just when we have our events, like we just recently had the Slay event, it was just awesome just to be able to have that support of women and people gathered together to kind of just bring us back and balance each other out of what we can do and what we offer in different parts of the church. It's just always mindful to see other perspectives, how we come together to just kind of just remind me of where I'm supposed to be.
Okay.
Awesome.
So yeah, I guess I didn't totally understand the question, but thank you for that. It gives me a better idea. But I would say then, or I guess a resource for me would be my job too. One of the things that helps me to have balance is that my job uses flex time, and that's like everything for that. So as long as I'm get my 40 hours in, I don't care if I decide I don't want to start at 7, I want to start at 10. If I need to go to the doctor, that's some serious balance. Because I've had the shoe on the other foot where they did not give you like that work-life balance, and so that's important. And my other thing, I'm sorry, I'm gonna hurry up and say it before you go to yours, but we've mentioned this on our other shows too, is being a part of a women's empowerment organization that helps to give you balance too, because you can bounce things, kind of off of each other. Usually in our group, and we share in our thread, usually somebody's having a bad day, but this person's up, then I may be up and you're, and so forth. So it's a great thing to be able to encourage. It's a good resource to balance as well.
Yes, for sure, for sure. Well, we have come to the end of our time for this week. Make sure you catch When Sistas Meet every other Tuesday live right here on Facebook at 7:30. You can also hear the replay on Newbie Radio on Thursdays and on Saturdays at 10 a.m. Make sure you like, follow, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. On all social media, we're there. Lipstick Entertainment is a women's empowerment group, and we are looking for new members. So if you are interested, please email us at lipstickentertainment2020@gmail.com. We do lots of things in the community. Again, we are a sisterhood. We believe in empowering women. Make sure you catch us again in 2 weeks. This has been When Sistas Meet. Have a good night.
Bye.